What's going on? It's Mo Bounce at Z100. Welcome to the studio. Alan Walker is here. There he is. We could do a round of applause, people in the background. It's okay. It just adds to the effect. I don't know. I don't know if you're the type of guy that likes the round of applause. Probably not.
Well, it's not the worst thing.
Yeah, it's cool to have, but like you don't need to have it. Well, welcome, my man.
Well, thank you. Like, it's so great to be back here in New York, and yeah, like the weather is okay. Like,
yeah, it's actually getting warmer.
It feels like home.
It's like 40 degrees, so that's like warm considering all the crappy snow and everything we just had. So, all right, so if we're just getting acquainted and getting to know who you are, I mean, obviously millions and millions of people know who you are everywhere. But if someone's watching this right now and be like, yo, let me get to know this guy. Where are you from?
Well, I was born in England, Northampton, and moved to Norway when I was 2 years old. And I started making music in around 2012, 2011.
Yeah.
And I had my breakthrough in 2014 with my song Fade.
Yes.
And
which is everywhere, by the way. Everybody uses your song. It's probably, I think I read, is like the most used like background music or on YouTube, basically.
Yeah, I actually think so. It's absolutely insane to hear. And after Fade, I released Spectre and then a song called Force.
Mm-hmm.
And in the beginning or late 2015, I think, we put out Faded, which was basically a new version of Fade, just with vocals.
With vocals, yeah.
And it just blew up. And
yeah, it did.
And since then, since that time, it's been mayhem pretty much. And it was, like everything has been changing so much. And it's kind of like it's been like living in a dream, basically.
Oh, it's got to be. Now, let's get the elephant out of the room real quick. If people don't realize why you're wearing a face mask, it's a really, really cool story. And it's part of your brand. It's part of who you are.
Yeah.
But when I was reading about it, I want you to explain it more in depth. I thought it was just a cool reason. Like someone's like, oh, just because I want to wear it. No, that's not why. You have kind of more of a, a cool reason behind it. So talk about that a little bit.
Well, the main reason is because like it's not necessarily because I want to hide myself behind the mask.
Yeah.
And like growing up, I was always so interested in graphic design, programming, gaming, like kind of like just
you were a nerd in your bedroom, and that's okay. We love nerds. Yeah. So was I. So I get it. Yeah, go ahead.
And you're more like that person in the background. Like you could go on Facebook and then be curious, like how does I would be that person that could go on Facebook and look at Facebook and be like, how did I make this website work? And then I would actually sit down and then maybe spend hours on just learning how to make something like Facebook.
Yeah.
And that's basically how everything started, because I got such a big interest in, for example, programming and graphic design and the rest. And it all had in common with that you were that person in the background. And that's where also we found like inspiration from when we were very considering like how should we put Alan Walker out in social media. And then we kind of like just found inspiration from video games, Watch Dogs, for example.
Yeah.
And programming and the video series or TV series, I mean, Miss Robot.
Yes.
And the hacker group Anonymous, like all of them having comments like you just have a mask and a hoodie, but like what I also want to do is that anyone could put on a mask and a hoodie and then they could be a walker. And I think that's also pretty cool because, yeah, again, like it's not necessarily because you want to hide yourself. It's just to show who you are.
That's why I wanted you to explain that, because it's not about hiding. It's about you could kind of be anybody you want to be. You don't need to. I mean, look at Deadmau5. Look at Sia. I mean, look at Marshmallow. I mean, everybody. I mean, I think people are really intrigued when it's like I don't know really what they look like. I have to really dig online to see what they look like. But people find that super intriguing, but nobody cares because you talk to your music.
Yeah, absolutely.
I mean, even if you're not the one doing the vocals, people. I mean, when before it was Faded, it was Fade. There's no vocals on it, but people fell in love with that. I mean, and people just fall in love with music no matter. And I think that really goes along with everything you just said. I mean, it just makes sense to me. I don't know.
Yeah.
And obviously it makes sense to you. So this is what you're doing. So congratulations on absolutely everything. Hold on a second. So I'm pulling up, like, there's all these numbers. I'm not going to really say them because you know, but like billions and billions of views and this and that. And it's just, do you ever like are you ever amazed by that? Where you're like, well, I was just having fun. I don't know why I have so many views. Or are you like, I want to do this for the mass amounts of people? Like, what was your mind frame beginning when you first started with YouTube and things like that?
When I first started to make music, my main goal was, for example, not to make money or anything. It was just to try it out. Like, I didn't have any musical background or anything. I just wanted to learn how to do it because
you taught yourself, right?
Yeah, I just looked at YouTube and got in touch with other people that could help me, and then it just began. And then after some time, like I found like that I actually had a big interest in making music, and then I just kept on going on and put out maybe 40 songs before Fade, and it was really really fun, and it was something that I would never ever have expected. But like to me, like the views, the likes, the comments, and the amount of followers that I gain, like it's not the most important thing for me. Like the most important thing for me is that the listeners, the fans, that they are happy with the product that I give them.
Yeah, no, absolutely. Now you talked about gaming a little bit. Do you still? I mean, I know you don't have as much time maybe when you're sitting in your bedroom back in the day before everything came about, but like, do you still like to play games?
Absolutely.
Okay, so favorite platforms and favorite games, and no one's getting paid for this. We just want to know. We just want to know.
Well, I just play, like all my friends are using PlayStation, so we're all playing on PlayStation, of course, and. What I've been playing mostly lately is Call of Duty World War II.
Yep, I'm on that too. So I was hoping you'd say that. Yeah, no, that's awesome, man. But when you make music and you talk about your gaming and your programming background, how do you bring in? Because you said that you never really did music before, but now obviously that's your main focal. But you never did that before. How do you bring in what you were so passionate about before the music to music now when it comes to are you like really particular on every little thing? I mean, because I assume programmers or people that are digitally inept or digitally like, big with things, they're super focused on every little thing. So I'm assuming you bring that kind of thing going on.
It's kind of like you want things to sound good. Like it's kind of like when you're programming, like if you put together a code and you haven't done something right, it will come back with an error. And it's kind of like the same with music. Like you got to make it so it sounds good. Otherwise, it won't be as good. Like it won't be listenable. Pretty much.
Yeah.
And I'm not like the most specific person when it comes to, for example, sound design. I could just do something very basic, and if it sounds good, then it sounds good. Like then I'll just go for it because it doesn't need to be complicated to be good.
Yeah, I think people think that about music, or people that listen to music or are avid listeners of your music or any music, they think, oh man, and they find a thousand reasons why it's so intricate, and you're just like, I didn't even think of it like that. I just kind of made it. But they pick every little thing, and you're like, nah, it was really simple. It wasn't that thought out. But it's cool that people have all different perspectives of music. Which is
and also
really
there's many people that says, like for example, dude, your music is too simple. You can't do this. But I'm like, well, I believe that sometimes what's simple is what's best.
Yeah.
And because you don't need to kind of like have this crazy chord progression in order to have a good song. Like
even lyrics.
Yeah.
You don't even always need, and especially with a lot of EDM music, sometimes people don't put vocals on, and you don't even need it. Remember Sandstorm by Darude?
Yeah, of course.
Oh my God, no one ever put vocals on that song ever, and it's still like something everybody can be like, oh my gosh, and that's kind of how I feel. You went initially before vocals, obviously it came on tracks, but like that's kind of how your music spoke to me anyway.
It's kind of like when I work with music, I always write the instrumental first. Yeah. And then get the vocals.
Yeah. Now, speaking of vocals, I mean, you're working with Noah Cyrus now. You're going to be on Fallon. Well, by the time you see this, he's already been on Fallon. But Noah Cyrus is and yourself are going to be on Fallon, and her song is All Falls Down. Was that a collaboration from the beginning, or something that you came up with and then the vocals, like kind of like what happened in the past?
It all started with Digital Farm Animals. Like they had this idea in the air, and they asked me if I wanted to do the production on it. And I was like, yeah, like this song is really cool. So we put everything together, and then we got Noah Cyrus on the song, and she absolutely killed those vocals. Like it sounds really, really good. Yeah, and I think it was perfect for her son as well.
Yeah, no, I think people really underestimate her sometimes. But when things come together and when these songs come out, we're like, oh, okay, now I get it. And this is just like another example of that. So. We're super, super excited about it. All right, so more about you and being on stage, watching videos of you on stage and all these festivals and just overseas and doing your thing. people, when you say in the background, you literally are. Like sometimes you can't see you.
Yeah.
But you know, with all the LED screens and everything going on, obviously we see
I just becoming like a black silhouette.
Yeah, no, but that's what I said. That's what's cool about it. Like people just go nuts, and they know that you're there, but you're not you're not right there in the middle of the stage. You're kind of back a little bit, and if a vocal is singing, she or he is always in front of stage. I think that's, I don't know. Wait, does it cause you to be able to look at people's reaction more since you are in the background? You get to really almost, I mean, you can't see everybody's faces because, you know, there's thousands and thousands of people, but can you sit there and assess, like, and be like, wow, I could really watch it instead of being right there in the front and doing everything? You could be kind of in the back a little bit.
Well, it's kind of like when you're mixing live on.
And you really do live.
Like, yeah.
I mean, it's insane. But watching you, that's what's cool. Because sometimes you don't always see DJs or producers on stage doing what you do, like doing everything. But I always see like the cameras right there in your face, like right there. And you, I don't know how you do it, man. I don't know. That's why you do it.
Well,
I don't.
Well, in the beginning, it was really, really weird. Like I remember doing the first show where we had like cameras everywhere. There was like 5 or 10,000 people. I was like, this was in France.
Yeah.
I think one of the very first big gigs that I did as a DJ, and I don't know, I was super
awkward.
shaky, and but like it was such an I don't know, really good feeling to overcome it. And since then, like I've just gotten more and more used to it. But looking back now, like to other shows I've been doing, like it's pretty fun because it's kind of like become your daily job. Like you're first nervous in the very beginning when you just started, and then
exactly,
and then you gotten used to it, and I think it's really, really fun. And then to see the people's reactions just from stage, like no matter how many people, just to see someone jump is a very good feeling.
Yeah, that's amazing. So now we got all the serious stuff out. Now I'm going to ask you a super personal, super serious question, and I hope you answer this. How do you keep the mask from not falling off?
Well, actually, like inside, like there's this special glue.
Oh, like grip. Oh, I get it now because I'm sitting here talking to you, going, "How does that thing not?" I would be a mess. I think I'd be like all the time, be gluing it to my ears.
Trust me, I've been through that.
All right, look. So you fine tuned the mask. You fine tuned
it. Took some time before we ended up with finding this solution, but like it can be annoying sometimes as well because it gets so sticky in your face.
What if you have a cold, like, and you're like, I just want to breathe?
Well, the thing is, like, the fabric is kind of like it's just a bunch of small holes.
Oh, gotcha. Okay.
And then it's like 2 or 3 layers.
I didn't want to get too personal, but I had to know. That was my question. I don't even care if anybody else wanted to know. I wanted to know. Alan Walker, we're big fans. We can't wait to see more from you. Of course, All Falls Down with Noah Cyrus on Fallon and everywhere else you're going to be. Congratulations, much success, and enjoy the ride, man.
Thank you very much.
Use that glue.